3 years ago, this was me. 11 p.m. Friday night, alone in the office in the center of Beijing. I click send, shoot off my goodbye email to hopefully my last boss ever. I sat there, scared, excited, and relieved all at the same time. I was quitting my job, leaving the world's top marketing firm. I was going to work full-time on my tiny jewelry business. A month ago, I had discussed this with my boss. He was very disappointed. We were a good team. I was his right hand. He cared about my development, and he had just offered me this really, really tempting promotion. I would love to say yes, but accepting that offer was a commitment issue. I knew I had to pick. My boss frowned and said to me, "Are you sure you really want to work in that cold, shabby apartment packing boxes? Do you realize how important it is, especially at this stage of your career, to stay with a big global company? You will never be invited to these exciting events, meeting those fancy clients. No. But if you really decided, you may have my blessing, but you will regret it." Thank you. But I do appreciate his concern. But in the end, I said no. No to that promotion, no to the brand, and no to the security of employment. I remember the fresh spring breeze that night. As I walked down this fancy street I just said goodbye to, I felt a surge of terrified determination, bolstered with my idealism and blood pumping with my rebellion. I knew I had to do this and forget about the fantasy of, oh, you could probably try first and see how it goes. No. It was this or that, now or never. Door closed, no turning back. I've always been driven, but my drive sometimes has led me to want to say yes to everything. My mom often told me when I was little, "Be careful of your ambition, isn't writing checks your body cannot cash." Gee, Mom. No, of course I didn't listen. But through work and life, I'm slowly learning her lesson. That for me, for this especially curious and impulsive me, there is immense power in saying no. And of course, my task of saying no did not end with my employee days. And this is an example. Last year, I did my summer internship in my own startup. And I found out, as a small business owner, my courage of saying no has become more important than ever. In this summer, my co-founder and I were approached by a variety of investors. And one of them particularly made us a really good offer of purchasing a majority share of the company. I was new to this, and needless to say, I was thrilled. But after spending days preparing variety versions of the business proposal, meeting with them, and delaying the things we should have been doing, the initial excitement passed. I start to hear these little whispers inside of my head asking me, "Why are you doing this? Why them? Why now?" These investors, they're not interested in the problems we were solving or the customers we were helping. They did not share our long-term vision building this brand. Instead, they wanted to turn us into fast fashion accessories, and this was not what I started business for. So in the end, I said no to this premature investment, even though it was not easy to make payroll a lot of times. But I knew I have to say no. This is to pay respect to the efforts we made and to protect our company. I will initiate fund searching when I do need it, but more important is to scale at our own pace. So my list of no tests has grown. Each is a test of sorts, as if the universe was checking if I was serious enough, if I would stay true to my vision. And here came the biggest no challenge I've ever encountered, the MBA journey. And yes, I did say yes to the school admission because I want to become a better manager for my company. But most people come to the MBA to explore new possibilities and to try new things. That is why here, these corridors of doors to be closed, it's so long, and each is a challenge of its own. I had to say no to the temping jobs at MBA Career Fair. I had to say no to Bar of the Week, and even to some team dinners, because I have to get up 5 a.m. next morning to have a call with my other team in China. I have to say no to some classes and get a C and incomplete as a result. Each no is preceded by fear of missing out, doubts, and I feel really embarrassed a lot of time to say no to my dear friends and classmates. But once I said no, I felt relief, clarity, and strength. And just as I thought I've been tested enough, the climax of my no came. It happened a month ago. The recruiter of my dream employee contacted me. They found me out of the school CV book, and ironically, they were impressed by my entrepreneurship history. This is a luxury e-commerce platform. I have followed them since they started, and now they're listed and they've been growing so fast. I remember my 1-hour happy conversation with the recruiter. We talked about their business, this position, and she described to me how I get to develop the entire country's market and work directly with the general manager. It was so dreamy. But 2 hours later, I sat there in my kitchen, preparing another rejection letter. Another big final no to everything this dream had to offer. I felt sad and happy and sad. Another door is officially closed, and there's really no way back. My decision of closing those doors might seem intuitive and sometimes naive. I have no way of proving them being objectively better or smarter. And even my rational justifications were made up even after the fact. But if I don't say no to those tempting alternatives, I'm sliding down a slippery slope. The more distractions I commit to, the more my own direction suffers. And sometimes, when I'm really tempted by one option, I will be like, in the movies, the soldiers in the battlefield. I pull out this photo. These are the people who have entrusted their future in this small company. My co-founder, my employees. How can I turn my back on those young girls? I've started something. I'm responsible for it. Saying no to other things is to protect the trust we've built and the efforts we've made so far. Otherwise, I will not be able to face myself in the end. As hard as every no seems to be, each no ends up being a gift. Each no relieves me and frees me from time-consuming and taxing dilemmas. Once I've said no, I stopped being anxious about all those what-ifs and instead focusing on my work with all my might. Once I killed those alternatives, I become clear with what I need to do next. I carve my own way. Every day, I can see this clear path in front of me. My work is full of purpose, and the focus we gain from this work actually generates more and new unexpected opportunities. Here is a recent example. These are the photos taken a few weeks ago here on this campus in the jewelry event I hosted. I spent a magical afternoon with my remarkable MBA fellow classmates, these ladies. We shared our jewelry designs. We took photos for them for a brand campaign. These ladies, they represent the spirit of a modern professional woman, the symbols of a new age of heroism that my brand aims to celebrate. Genuine, resilient, strong, beautiful in each of their own way. Thinking back that afternoon, I remember the warm braids in their hair, the gold glittering around their necks. The jewelry seems to dance for them in the Spanish sunlight. I felt profound peace and joy. This moment somehow made the past 1.5 years all worth it. And for my own mixed MBA and entrepreneurship journey, this was a perfect final project and my own graduation ceremony. I wish I could give everyone this blissful moment. And I believe everyone will enjoy moments like this if we're all willing to boldly say no more often. I understand in this fast-paced world, saying no might seem scary a lot of times, as if we were missing out on something great. But these are the myths. It is by saying yes to everything that we miss out on life the most. So much is possible through every no. By saying no, we gain focus, we cleared our mind share, and we become determined. We find peace and relief. Saying no made us stronger, more committed, and fully present. Most importantly, each no shapes us and protects what is most precious to us. For me, my no's are protecting my employees, my team, my customers, my business, and myself. I have no idea how far this business will go, how big it will grow, or how fast it will die. But I'm committed to see it through. It better work, okay? It has to work. I will make it work. I will keep using no's to cut out excuses and protect what matters to me the most. Thank you.